Hello out there, casual fanatics. Jeremy here, and this is just kind of a little, excuse me, just kind of a quick casual vlog to get in touch with you. I really don't have much in the way of news right now, except to say my voice is back! Yay! Anyway, aside from that, the only other news is that a new Fun 5e build is coming for this week. I have that shot up. I'll edit it, get it up by Wednesday as normal. Of course, you saw last week on Periscope that I did the dice roll for it. I'm going to start doing that for a little more transparency on how things work with the Fun 5e builds. The real purpose, though, of this is going to be, of course, you've all heard now about the Fine Brothers and them doing their wacky stuff on the whole React World trademarking stuff and all that. Hang on. And all that wonderful bullshit. And it's terrible. First of all, point of clarification, and many people have said this on YouTube and Twitter, and I kind of want to reiterate that so that it is out there. There is a difference between copyright and trademarking. What the Fine Brothers are trying to do in this case really sounds more akin to trademarking, because the easy way to remember it is that copywriting is for actual creative works. Individual videos can be copyrighted. Music can be copyrighted. Movies can be copyrighted. Individual works, that can be copyrighted. Now, if you have something that you're using for branding purposes, like a name, a logo, something akin to that, that all falls under trademark. And in this case, that's what the Fine Brothers are trying to do. They're basically trying to trademark reaction videos. And with that being said, the other thing is, it's still stupid shit. Still trying to trademark React videos is really kind of a dumb thing. And I understand, their thinking was, oh, we can try and franchise this out, help other people. Maybe they were thinking, if they franchise from us, other people will make money from us, and it'll be our way of giving back to them. I don't know exactly what they were thinking in there. I'm just purely speculating. I do know this. Whoever told him this was a good idea does not know shit. Because, okay, point of clarification here, I am neither a lawyer nor an accountant. I do not have any kind of legal training, and while I do love mathematics, my numerical dyslexia would prevent me from becoming an accountant. So, I honestly believe whoever told them this was a good idea did not know what they were doing. Because if you think about it, the whole conceit of React videos goes around the fact that people have unique ways that they react to various different things, particularly things that they may not be familiar with. They don't have some of the preconceived notions that people who've known about this thing for a long time and have been a part of it and a part of that community would know about it. That's a very nebulous concept. And honestly, I don't think it's one that's trademarkable. Because of it being so nebulous, because of it being so, ethereal and indifferent. It'd be like, people trying to copyright genres of music. It'd be like someone trying to copyright review videos. It'd be like, say, if someone tried to copyright for some of my Dragons and RPG playing friends. It'd be like if someone tried to trademark the idea of having an inset face cam over a character sheet that you're talking about, like I do for my Fun 5e builds, like Dawnforge Cast does, those kind of things. If somebody tried to do that, you would think they were idiots. Because it's just something so incredibly nebulous and widespread that to try and control it and lock down on it would be nigh impossible. And much the same way with reaction videos or react videos. Now, I realize maybe it's the specific style that they have, where they actually kind of get like random people in and shoot their reactions to various different things. But even then, it's basically someone reacting to someone else's work, which is kind of a gray area in and of itself. I mean, when you're using someone else's work to try and make money on it yourself, it is kind of a little bit of a gray area. And I say that knowing full well that I have done precisely that in the past. I mean, pretty much all of my videos in some way, shape, or form are trying to do that. In particular, things like, say, my Fun 5e builds videos, where at first I used Chroma Squad and the idea of Super Sentai and Kamen Rider to make D&D characters, and also specifically the one where I did Sith vs. Jedi, where not only was I aping Star Wars, but I was also using mechanics borrowed from the fine people over at Nerdarchy. Now, by all rights, they could have told me, no, please don't do that, but they didn't, because they're good people. And, that should be good enough. Of course, YouTube is full of dicks who would do it anyway, but I digress. To go to kind of the extent that the Fine Brothers are going with, for something so incredibly innocuous, and I know I keep using this word a lot, but it's really the best word I have to describe it, nebulous of a concept, formless of a concept as people react to shit. It really takes on an air of dickishness. And the internet has spoken out about it. They are losing subscribers by the thousands. Their videos are being downvoted en masse. And they disabled comments on some of their videos because people were using the comments to discuss all the ways in which their idea is stupid. It's a wonder they're... In fact, it's a wonder they're not trying to report people for this, which would be a stupid idea because people who are telling them that that's a bad idea are A, not wrong, and B, I would hope not being abusive about it. It's... YouTube is a hard game to play. It's a tough game to get in. My little brother David just recently passed 1,000 subscribers, still rising pretty quickly as well. I believe he's at 1150 something, or 1,050 something right now. I don't remember the exact number as of this precise moment, but even though he got there really quickly in round about half a year, there were times when it got difficult. And I tried to encourage him as best as I could during those points because I believed in his potential. YouTube is a hard place to get into, especially because certain niches are tougher to get into than others. Certain niches aren't quite as big overall, and some are oversaturated. But And so for someone who is way, way up at the top of the list, like amongst thousands, if not millions of YouTube accounts, they are like top 25. To do something like this that I can only imagine they thought would be something that would help out younger YouTubers, but is actually more likely to squash young YouTube channels. Kind of a dick move. I mean, again, it would be like some of the top people of YouTube Let's Play suddenly cracking down and saying that they own Let's Playing now. Their style of Let's Playing, they own their style of Let's Playing, and no one else can do it that way. If someone did that, they would be considered a dick, and rightfully so. So, I see they did try to explain it. I have seen they did try to explain it. By all accounts, that explanation was not a good one. So, it was kind of just digging the hole in deeper, really. And I don't think there's any way that they can get out of this except for completely saying, look, we fucked up. This was a bad idea. We're dropping it. We apologize. Now, let's do some fun stuff. That's the only way they're going to get out of it. Partially because of the level of their screw up, which is by far not one of the worst things that anyone on YouTube could do. Certainly doesn't break any laws, although it does abuse a few laws. But, it's not like top level evil, but sometimes to the internet, that doesn't really matter. When you do something stupid, the internet tends to not let you forget it. And in this case, the Fine Brothers are never going to live this down. Even if they find a way to recover from it, even if they regain all the subscribers that they have lost, even if they drop this whole thing and apologize, they are never going to live it down. I mean, apologizing and dropping the thing will mitigate things somewhat. It will definitely stop the bleeding, but there will still be a scar. And that scar will be called React World. It will remain on their YouTube channel for years to come, because the internet does not forgive easily, and they certainly don't forget. It's not a good thing by any means, but it's how things go. So, I guess the bottom line I'm trying to get at is, and don't think I'm some kind of magical YouTube guru, because if I was, I would not be barely holding at 100 plus at just north of 100 subscribers. I guess the bottom line really is that if you are at the top, you really need to. You don't just need to think about your decisions. You kind of need to triple and maybe even quadruple think them. I know it seems like a recipe for disaster with indecision, but if you think about all the things that somebody may take this to a horrible degree, you might find a better way to do what you're looking at. Or you might find that your idea really wasn't that great of an idea at all. And when it comes to trademarking and copywriting, those laws do exist for a reason. They do exist to protect the creator from people who just outright want to steal their stuff. That does not give you the right to use those laws to just because you feel like you need more money or more views or more fame. I mean, 14 million plus subscribers, even with the mass exodus. That's nothing to sneeze at. And that's something you kind of want to make sure you maintain, if not grow further. Just because you're at the top doesn't mean you need to stop thinking about what kind of image you're setting. If anything, you have more of a responsibility at that level. Because the people who are down here on the same level as, say me, look up to those people at the top. We want to emulate what they've done to get further on. And if we see them do stupid shit like this and get punished for it, that gets discouraging. Because it basically says that, it basically tells people on YouTube, and unfortunately this is a very true thing, that it says, one fuck up can screw you up forever. Especially on the internet. One fuck up can screw you up forever. And that's a depressing concept. That is incredibly depressing. It's not a message that the world needs. It is unfortunately true, but it's not a message the world needs. There has to be some room for growth and change and self-cognizance. So when you're up at the top, you have a responsibility. You are the YouTube role model. Fucking act like it. If you screw up, apologize and make it right. Because the smaller YouTube channels that had idolized you in the past, they're looking elsewhere for guidance. Because they can't trust you anymore. Until next time, y'all, keep casual.